My dear good people of River State, on Friday, May 1st, 2020, protect residents from the pandemic. During the briefing, I hinted that the State Security Council will review the situation and, where necessary, impose additional measures. In the past few days, the latest of these positive cases was the 14th case who was flown into Port HArcourt as recent as Wednesday, the 29th of April 2020. Including oil and gas workers from Lagos, Abuja, and other areas, pose a potent source and threat for the importation and spread of COVID-19 in our state. Furthermore, we have also observed with disappointment the persistent disobedience to the state government's established directives and advisories on COVID-19. We can all see that COVID-19 cases confirmed across the country are growing in their numbers, meaning that the situation in our state can also change for the worse, and the numbers increasing if we relax our measures or become complacent. In view of our state as follows. 1. All residents must wear face masks before stepping out of their homes to the public space. 2. The operations of all private motor parks, taxi ranks, and loading bays throughout the state is hereby prohibited. All hotels, guest houses, and gated arches must remain closed in the state. All hoteliers must provide the state task force on COVID-19 with the manifest of those already lodged in their hotels before the coming into effect of this directive. No commercial taxi driver should carry more than 3 passengers in vehicles at time. No commercial bus driver should carry more than 40% of full cars in commercial and private vehicles, including tricycles, must wear face masks and observe the use of sanitizers. A task force has been set up to arrest and prosecute any person without wearing face masks in public places or inside vehicles. Impound and auction any vehicle with persons or passengers. Impound and auction any vehicle loading or floating passengers at any private park, taxi rank, or loading bay. Confiscate and auction any hotel and guest house operating in defense of the ban. And government will give 100,000 naira to any whistleblower who gives out relevant information leading to the arrest and prosecution of any person, hotelier, or motorist that violates this directive. Although the greatest threats to the spread of this virus change their behavior to the new reality are any better, no government worth its name will continue to tolerate such intransigence in the face of the extreme danger posed to the general public by this virus. Consequently, we have decided on the extreme measure of placing the entire Port HArcourt and Port HArcourt City local government area under a 54-hour total lockdown from Thursday, 7th of May 2020 until further notice. All residents of Port HArcourt and Port HArcourt City local government area must therefore stay at home until further notice. On no account should there be any vehicular movement or gathering of more than 2 persons in this local government area except those in essential services who must be appropriately authorized. All shops, trading or business activities, including currency exchange in this local government area must also remain closed until further notice. All landlords are advised to ensure that no shop or trading activity is opened or carried out in or around their premises in the confiscation of such property by the government. Any person, group, or institution that violates the lockdown and curfew in this local government area will be made to face the full wrath of the law. Furthermore, we have reviewed all entry waivers and permits earlier granted to companies, and in addition, decided as follows. From now on, requests for waivers and entry permits from companies will be considered on a case-by-case basis. All inward bound vehicles and flights into River State from oil and gas companies with workers either for crew change or other designated essential operations must first submit details of their manifest duly to the State Task Force on COVID-19 for proper vetting of their various status before they can be allowed to enter the state. All for oil and gas operations, especially Bristol and Caverton helicopters, should please comply with the directive and refrain from jeopardizing the lives of our people for the sake of making profits. We have caused to sternly warn the Chief Medical Director of the University of Hospital, Professor Henry Woman, to stop criticizing the issue of coronavirus in the state, which is rascally, irresponsible, and ill-motivated utterances. This government is focused and therefore will not allow itself to be distracted on its battle against COVID-19. However, we will neither tolerate nor hesitate to deal with anyone who dares to rubbish the hard work and the sacrifice we are all making to save lives in our state, just advanced parochial partisan.
Okay, very good evening to you. Great to be back here on Late Night Talk. My name is Kofi Bartels. Today is Monday, the 4th of May, 2020. And it's a great, great time to be alive. These are the times that some of us, our parents, would have told us about, that us, we're kids or growing up, that, we remember, that there was something in the world, maybe civil war or something. And then we just only imagine with our minds. But we're living in these times. I'm sure we'll get to tell our children about it. That's the governor of Rivers State, His Excellency, Governor Nyesom Wike, who was informing Rivers people of the impending lockdown put in place or imposed by his government as a way of fighting the coronavirus. COVID-19. Lots of talking points there, but I have a guest on the program today. You also are a guest as well. I'm looking out for your comments. I'd like you to call and have your say. You can also drop your thoughts in the comment section if you're watching us on Facebook Live and on YouTube Live as well. You can also drop your thoughts in the comment section, and I'll be very, very glad to read them out. My name is Kofi Bartels, and this is Late Night Talk. My guest on the program today is a man who you love to listen to. A lot of you have become a fan of his on radio, at Nigeria Info, and now what I'm doing here, those of you who are just getting to know him on Facebook and on YouTube with his incisive analysis and contributions to Late Night Talk, are loving it, are loving him so much. I'd like us to put our hands together as we welcome Mr. Andy Akotive. Andy, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Kofi. All this one for me now, wow.
Andy, maybe wash, maybe wash. You deserve it all, man.
Yeah, good evening, Nigerians. Great to be here, Kofi. Wonderful job you're doing.
Thank you very much, Andy. Thank you very much. And thanks for joining us. Basically, we were all, looking forward to what would happen. Today being the 4th of May, as, people in parts of the country are planning on how they're going to spend their lives, spend their days, get back to a near normal situation in Lagos State, Ogun State, and of course the FCT. Little do we know that we're going to get something like this in Rivers State today. First of all, your initial thoughts when you heard, what did you think about? What went through your mind when you heard that there was a lockdown on Rivers State starting on Thursday?
Fela's song about Ojo Elegba was what came through my mind immediately. If you have lived in Lagos, all you needed to do was to move to Ojo Elegba. You would see that, there's a bus stop in Ojo Elegba where you would not understand where the cars are coming from or going to. There's one that's going to Yaba. There's one that's going towards Maryland. Mm-hmm. There's one that's going towards Antony. Mm-hmm. They are just scattered. There's one that's coming down to Lawansin. They are just scattered. The fella liking Nigeria in that song, in that hit track, to be like Ojo Elegba, where there is very palpable confusion, mm-hmm. where you would not know what way the people are indeed going. The traffic warden there, I think that at that Ojo Elegba roundabout mm-hmm. should indeed be given a lot of credit, because it's one hell of, a movement of vehicles that if you did not understand reading very well, you would have people stuck there for hours. That's what came to my mind first. Ojo Elegba. We are fighting COVID-19 in Rivers State, in Nigeria, as though it is an Ojo Elegba kind of condition.
Oh, really?
This is what I mean by that.
Okay.
So the federal government has come up and they have said that, and given all that we have seen, and given our projections, given what we are looking at, we think we should relax right now some of these things, and across the country between the hours of 8 p.m. and 6 a.m., we would like that you maintain, this lockdown across the country. We would like that the borders are still shut, etc., etc. Our governor wakes up and says, I want to shut down, as it were, the whole of Rivers State. Because tell me, if you are shutting down Falga and Obiakpo, what else are you not shutting down? The bulk of the businesses in Rivers State are situated within Falga and Obiakpo. And if you are shutting it down. And guess what? It says it's shutting it down indefinitely.
To further notice.
Yes, Kofi, what does this tell you? It's an unusual circumstance. If there is a plan in place, as soon as we are sure that we are tested, this number, as soon as we are sure that we are fumigated, as soon as we are sure that the people had complied to X, Y, Z, as soon as we are going to relax it and all that, we would understand. It seemed to me like we are doing more than fighting COVID-19, particularly in Rivers State.
Okay.
Kofi, before now, I used to love the governor. I tell you this, as a person, because I thought that in order for you to be able to govern any space in Nigeria, you must be different. You must not be one who follows after the establishment, one who kowtows to the order, to the nonsense that had been pervasive in our country. You must be one who is different. And I saw a bit of this in the governor, in the person of Nyesom Wike. But trust me, Kofi, from the very first second he blew the whistle regarding COVID-19, the governor's management of it, to my mind, had been anything but the best of standard. He just would act whimsically. The governor would just act exactly as he's feeling. If his emotions told him that this is what we should do, we should shut down Ikoko, he shut it down. If his emotions told him that we should let churches go and worship, he opened the floodgate for churches to go and worship. If his emotions told him that they should shut down permanently certain areas, he shut it down. I did not see any reading to all of what the governor had been doing from the first day they blew the whistle regarding this thing. No plan whatsoever, Kofi Bartels. No plan. If you said to me that, in order to achieve this, we would need to do this, I would have understood. Today, as I speak with you, Kofi, there is still no test center in Rivers State. Not one, Kofi. There is no known remedy, no known protocol for treatment in Rivers State.
But is that the fault of the state government or the federal government and the Akpotibe? Because His Excellency the Governor has always constantly complained that there is no support coming his way from the federal government.
Kofi, it is the responsibility of a governor to ensure the security of life and property. At least he did not swear to that oath together with the president. It was a personal thing. He said, I was going to protect lives and property. Now, Kofi, you must understand that in doing this, in protecting life and property, you must ensure that what you are doing to protect life and property is not going to inflict pains or is not going to even take lives, even more than you are protecting. In medicine, we will say that when the right effect of a medication that you are giving to a patient outweighs the adverse effect, that medication can be given and that medication would be good. But when the adverse effect outweighs the desired effect, you should not give that medication because it becomes poison. The intention, if we are to superimpose this in all of the decisions that the governor has taken, who swore to protect life and property, is this: if what you are doing to protect life and property is going to have adverse effect that indeed would affect life and property much more than the decision you are putting in place, then in the first instance, it is futile, whatever it is that you are putting in place. You must ensure that what you are doing will serve the purpose better than the adverse effect. Today, as it stands, and you are shutting down the whole of Rivers State, you are shutting it down indefinitely. It seems to me like, yes, I know people say that this is war that we are fighting with COVID-19, even though I have my reservations as a person, which I don't want to bring out publicly for now.
You have your reservations.
Yes, I'm listening.
Go on, please.
Yes, even if this is war we are fighting, wars are strategic, Kofi. You must be strategic. You must know how to win certain peace. You must know how to select your battle. You don't just engage, you don't just attack. There are certain times you are attacking and it is going to be like they are laying an ambush for you, and you will just run into that ambush and you would lose the life, or your people would die in their numbers. Every war has to be strategic. I don't see any strategy. That's the point I'm making.
Andy Akpotibe, you're saying you don't see any strategy. Before I fire my first shot at you, I'd like to say a very good evening to those of you who are joining us online on Facebook and on YouTube Live. Welcome. Thank you very much for your time. I sincerely appreciate this. Please do me a favor. Do us a favor. Drop a comment in the comment section as well. Please do that for me. And also share this post so that all your friends on your timeline can also watch. Thank you very much. And if you'd like to call, when I'm done with Andy, you can call. I'll put the number up as well. Now, Andy, I have some comments coming in. People are listening to you and to what you're saying. Some are agreeing, some are disagreeing, some are just telling us how they feel. But my first shot to you is this. Some people came out to criticize the federal government's easing of a lockdown in Lagos, the FCT, and Ogun State as being premature. One of such is the Nigerian actress, Nollywood star, Rivers State's very own Hilda Dokubo, who said, what is the science behind this? Because we're looking at 151 confirmed cases in Nigeria as of the 1st of April and 2,500 and something confirmed cases as of the 1st of May, which is just over 1,000% increase in just a space of 30 days or 31 days, as the case, 30 days. So aren't we rather doing the right thing in River State?
So Kofi, if you are a journalist, and it's a simple thing, can you as journalist ask the governor what is your strategy? Kofi, I always like to say that. I wish I
could. I wish you would allow me to ask him.
Yeah, Kofi, when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. The truth of the matter is that if you just did certain things without a strategy, then you did nothing. What you did would be at best futile. I can bet you that if you ask the governor and his handlers right now, what is your strategy? They will be flat-footed regarding the answers that they would give to you. I can bet you. Because every sensible and reasonable person right now, given what is on ground, cannot see any strategy whatsoever. So, Kofi, what is strategy? To shut people at home so that we can test them, to shut people at home so that they can stay the 14 days, and when it becomes obvious that they have it, there are hospitals, there are centers that can treat them, to shut people at home so that we can fumigate certain places that we have confirmed that they found people who had COVID-19 in. What exactly is the strategy, Kofi Bartels? To shut people at home so you can be vindictive and you can pour out your anger on certain people.
So Andy, you feel this is just about anger? Should I mean, if that is how he operates as a person, he's the governor of River State. Yes, we know how he is. Should we maybe for now put aside his method, his persona, his style, and look at the necessity of the moment, of the day, and of the time we're
I
in?
agree that we are fighting a war, but I'm saying, can somebody please just tell me what is the strategy in shutting down the entire state? I want to see the strategy. I can think now. Kofi, I think there are a lot of Nigerians and a lot of people in River State are rational and are reasonable. Please, can you tell us the strategy? If you listen to the governor very well, he starts by saying that because the people have disobeyed. In doing this, they are disobeyed. In doing that, they are disobeyed. In doing the other things, so we are shutting down. Kofi, this is not headmaster-pupils relationship we're having with the governor now.
So, Andy Akpotibe, are you supporting those who've been flouting government orders, who've been living unsafe?
Not at all. But Kofi, do you know that strategy even makes for compliance? If, for instance, I do not want people to drive into themselves at water lines in Port HArcourt, or yes, at water lines. What would I do? I will be strategic. I will put traffic lights there and I will put traffic wardens there, such that once they saw the light and it was red, they understood that they should not pass. Those coming from Olu or Pasanjo, those coming from Romola, once they saw the light that it was green, they understood that they should pass. You have to be strategic. That's the point I'm making. But if you did not put traffic lights there, you did not have traffic warding there, and you say people are not obeying you, then you must be a stupid person. I have said that even as a government, there are certain things that we can do to have the buy-in of the entirety of the state. There are certain things we can do. There is no rocket science. I have said that there is a Kofi Bartels. There's a Dayo Ilushakin. There's an Andy Akmotive. There is a Keo Baba. There are all these people. You can say to them that, okay, I need you people to go and take certain regions in Rivers State. We are going to pay you. After all, they say they have spent 700 million. 700 million doing what? Now, go and speak to these people in the language they will understand, in such a way that you will not compromise physical distancing and not this rubbish social distancing that we are talking about. In such a way that you will not compromise physical distancing. These people go and they speak to people in the language that they understand. They explain the peculiarities of the condition and the disease that we are having today. Okay. You will find that people will then start buying into these things that you are preaching. You don't just sit in your high horse and shove down instructions down the throat of individuals, down the throat of people who cannot even feed themselves, and you expect 100% compliance. There is just no strategy. You know why I'm really very pissed? I did not expect that the federal government would be any terrific.
Okay.
I did not expect that the federal government would blow my mind. I did not expect that the federal government was going to do anything that would wow me, particularly as Andy Akpote. Given the fact that everything they have been doing have been anything but anything close to wowing people. But that states like River State, states like Oyo State, certain states who I expected would be different, that they are doing these things that they are doing now, makes me holo. Makes me come to the conclusion that there is something fundamentally wrong with leadership in our country. It's either that our leaders think we all as their followers and citizens are dumb, or they are just deliberately wicked. They are not strategic whatsoever.
Andy, we'll come back. This is quite interesting, quite explosive. I just want you to hold your thoughts. I have more shots for you. But we'll take a few comments from our listening audience live on Facebook and on YouTube. If you're just joining us, thanks for your time. It's Late Night Talk with Kofi Bartels, streaming live on Facebook and, of course, on YouTube. Please, while you're here, do well to drop a comment based on what we're talking about. And, of course, you can also get ready to call. Like my page, press the notification button. And please share this post. Do two things for me. Very importantly, drop a comment, share this post, and also like my page and share. Click the notification button. COVID-19. Governor Wike declares total lockdown in Port HArcourt, Faga, and Obiakpo from Thursday till further notice. Reveals penalties for flouters. What are your thoughts on this? My guest is Andy Akpotive. He's a nation builder. I call him the table shaker in a three-piece suit, and he's also public affairs commentator. Athens Awar on Facebook says no and act. This is Port HArcourt local government area. Is giving people the whole all the areas in Port HArcourt local government area so they don't get caught. Pius Simbad says hi. Okay, Elizabeth Achinewu, good evening to you, madam. Thank you very much for your time. Ichimati Silverlane, brother, I don't read though. He says he's crying over there. Sorry. Samobasi says Wiki the Great. Makri Danagogo says who will the taxi drivers carry when Port HArcourt and Obiakpo local government areas will be on lockdown? Where are taxi drivers going to? Don't you understand the meaning of lockdown? Andy. Te Lumun Laba says, this one weak me, oh. He weak you. Okay. Kenneth Nwokore says, he don't read on the negotiation remain. Where is the constitution? He says, where is the constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Who is the most powerful in the executive system? And he's thinking. Desmond Kade Inyewe says, I think the governor is merely bluffing. He'll rescind his directive. Solomon Emenike, good evening to you. EK or IK Feza says Governor Wike would have saved himself the wasted energies applied on lockdown orders. He should start thinking outside the box on how to handle the situation without inflicting more pain on the common citizens. Why not deploy his task force to control how the markets operate in line with the government directives, okay? It says, why should lockdown be his only option left? You lock people down and turn a blind eye and deaf ear to them. Does this make any sense at all? If the governor feels he has everything at his disposal, he should know that so many feed based on their daily hustle. That's an interesting comment there by EK Fezas or IK Fezas. Andy, IK is saying so many people feed based on their daily hustle. People go out, they hustle. What they make that day is what carries them till the next day. This is a case in Port HArcourt. But Andy, your earlier expressed some sort of dissatisfaction with the federal government's, performance so far. People hustle on a daily basis in River State, but people hustle on a daily basis as well in Lagos. They hustle on a daily basis as well in Abuja. They hustle on a daily basis as well in Ogun State. So what are we complaining about? When the president declared lockdown in Lagos State, did we make noise? We all said yes, so that the curve can be flattened. So, Andy, what do you say about this? Why are people bringing up, people hustle on a daily basis? What's up with that?
So the difference, Kofi, I like you are a journalist, so you must appear neutral. But and this is not justifying anything. But do you see the strategy in Lagos? Mm-hmm. The strategy is clear. Mm-hmm. These are the numbers of people that you are getting on a daily because you are testing. And as you test and as you see this number, you decide that they should stay at home so that you can achieve X, Y, Z. The strategy is clear. Shawn Lewis is unveiling the strategy on his day.
What strategy is Sanwo-Olu unveiling, Andy?
So the strategy is that we want to test people, and when we test them and confirm that indeed they have it, we want to treat them. That's the strategy. However, as we are doing this, we don't want these people to go touching or to go contacting the other people in this period, such that over a 14-day period or a 28-day period, we will be able to reassess the situation to see how we are fed regarding our testing,
Andy,
our treatment.
Andy, I would like to ask you. So this strategy, you praising Lagos State Governor Sanwo-Olu for. I take back the word praise.
Yes.
Was it being done in a vacuum, or was it being done during the federally imposed lockdown?
No, it's being done. It's a joint thing. The federal government, in collaboration with the Lagos State government, NCDC, they are taking these decisions in concert, in agreement, as a team. You would see that everything the federal government did, the Lagos State government, the Ogun State government, the Abuja City Authority, always aligned with what the federal government was doing. Today, what we have in River State, we have Bubu's or Mr. President's order, and we have Mr. Wike's order. Mr. President says between the hours of 8 p.m. and 6 a.m., people should be indoors. the governor seems complete curfew. And I'm wondering, Kofi, is this not saying to you that this is an Ojo Elegba circumstance?
You are saying that one person is going right, the other is going left.
Absolutely, it doesn't seem to me like they are working in concert.
Okay, but
they are working in unison.
Okay, but Andy, the president has not limited anyone, governor, from doing what they feel is right, before federal intervention. And maybe the situation in River State has not gotten to the point where the federal government is not dictating to every state what to do,
Kofi, you are taking the word out of my mouth. So the federal government understands that the condition in River State is not as precarious, it's not as dicey, it's not as challenging as that of Lagos State, as that of Kano, as that of Ogun State and Abuja, if you may. That the situation in River State is still within what can be controlled. Do you understand? That's what the federal government has said. I am wondering what our governor in River State is latching onto to reach the conclusion of shutting down the entire state, for instance. Is he saying that he has knowledge that is different from that the NCDC and the federal government has? What is his strategy exactly? This knowledge that he has, what is his strategy to contain this challenge? What is it exactly? What is the point, Kofi? Since I heard him this morning, I've been asking myself that, Andy, is it that you do not understand English anymore, or you cannot interpret things? I listened to it over and over. I was waiting to see in his speech what the strategy would be. I hear things to me that from the governor's speech, I hear things that suggest to me that this is more like a fight. This is more like a battle. This is more like, you don't want to do this, I will show you that I can do this. This is more like something else other than the fight against COVID-19. If it is about COVID-19, we would have seen that COVID-19 would be at the front burner. For instance, it would have been everything about COVID-19. Because I'm shutting down Falga, because I'm shutting down Obiakpo, I'm doing this. You just rightly said that a majority of us in River State must go out to make our daily living. Most of the necessity.
And I would like to. It could be argued that the government actually is making this about COVID-19 because all over the world, measures are put in place called lockdown in all over the world.
Kofi,
it might be extreme. It might be extreme, but it is about COVID-19.
Yes, Kofi, when you lock down, what do you do afterwards? Do you just lock down for the sake of locking down? When you lock down, what is the protocol that you have established that will ensure that this COVID-19 issue is reduced in the state? What exactly, Kofi? Kofi, you are a journalist now. I know that all of you have been gagged in River State. The question should have been that I would have expected people, journalists, to have asked. Even the opposition that annoys me so much, the opposition is so right now, is so comatose. The opposition, if there's anything like opposition in River State, I am so even disgusted more.
Andy, so you're expecting the opposition to oppose everything the government does, even if they believe it's right.
The opposition to have opposed the governor to say, Mr. Governor, we know that you are the governor of River State. We understand that you want to protect the lives and properties of River. Please, can we understand your strategy? Anybody who would ask the governor this, I will love that person forever. Can you just tell us, Mr. Governor, what is your strategy? Are we shutting down for eternity without doing anything? Do you just clear the land? I want to plant. Let me just clear this land. 16 hectares of land. We just clear it, burn the bush, and you leave it like that. You are not sowing any seed, and you are expecting to reap things when it's time to harvest. You won't reap now. The reason you are clearing the farm The reason you are tilling the ground is so that you can plant it and reap when it's time for harvest. Okay, you are shutting down the entire state. Now, what are you doing to ensure that we flatten curve, we reduce it, we bring it down, and we don't hear of this thing in another 1 year, in another 6 months, in another 3 months? Look at how it's done everywhere else in the world, Kofi. Let me just finish this thought. Look at how it's done everywhere else in the world. As they are shutting down for this number of time, you see that this is the reason they are shutting down. And they are pursuing that thing vigorously. They are pursuing it religiously. They are vehemently throwing everything at pursuing that thing. That's how it's done everywhere in the world. That's how it's done. That's how they are doing it in Lagos State as I speak with you. Why are you shutting down Rivers State? Can somebody please tell me how you have motivated this strategy? Can someone wake me up from this sleep or from this dream? Why are you shutting down Rivers State? What is your strategy? What do you want to achieve on the short term? What do you want to achieve on the medium term and on the long term? When are you probably going to relax this? Should XYZ be done in XYZ time? I will do this. Do we have any of such strategy? Even if you have it,
Andy, you asking, you could go on and on asking about strategies. You could go on and on asking about strategy. I understand where you're coming from, but before I fire my next shot to you, let's just take a few comments from our audience online, because we have a lot of them in River State. River State Governor gets on Wike Declares. Basically, thoughts on this? Feel free to drop your comments. Do 2 things for us, or 4 things. Drop your comment. Share this post. It's a nice program. I'm sure you would agree. And then like my page if you've not liked it, and also press the notification button so that anytime I go live, you can be notified. My guest this morning is a public affairs commentator. He's a nation builder, and I call him a table shaker in a 3-piece suit, Mr. Andy Akpotive. Okay, Ayebaye Daniel Wanatoy is on Facebook, and Ayebaye says, let the palliatives be given so we don't solve one problem while we create another. Let the palliatives be given so we don't solve one problem while we create another. Hunger can cause more damage than COVID-19. Interesting comment there. But Ayebaye, Andy, I'd like to ask you, what do you think about that comment? He's talking about palliatives, because I feel that you can't keep on giving palliatives forever. It's not a sustainable thing to do. And the government has been giving palliatives, and of course, government can't feed everyone. Government, I don't know if any government has fed everyone in Nigeria. Even before we had this plenty. Do you agree?
Okay, so I don't understand the kind of. Are we a socialist state? Are we a welfare state? Are we a capitalist state? These are certain things that they're in the realm of the academic. However, if a government is sensitive and a government wanted to construct a road in a certain place, they ensure that there was an alternative route that people must follow. If you did not ensure that there was an alternative route and you went on constructing roads, you were a wicked government and you are not a government. Government's responsibility is essentially to make better living within the society. Government's responsibility is not to make worse the living of people within that society. I have said all this to say this to you, Kofi.
Okay.
There should be palliative, for instance. How do you lock down? And Kofi, this is what even irks me. This is what irritates me. How do you lock down a people a day after you said that it is important that they wear their face mask? In the first place, Kofi, you did not tell us what kind of face mask we should wear. You did not specify. You didn't sit down to create 6 industries who will make face masks to specifications. And you ensured that these 6 companies either sold it at a controlled price or they gave it to the citizens free of charge.
So you've been speaking glowingly of Lagos State. Is Governor Sanwo-Olu is the commissioning companies to?
I have my reservations regarding how they have been managing all these things from day one, from the federal government to Lagos State government, even to Rivers State government. But I'm saying that if we were to put all of them on a scale of 1 to 10, and feed, people cannot eat. Jennifer went to Job, she went to the water side, and she showed us the real water side. Go around the River State, see how the people live indeed. Then you can make policies that can attend to their condition. You are addressing a people, or you are a leader of a people that are not Americans. You are a leader of a people that are not British. You are a leader of Nigerians. You are a leader of River State people who have certain peculiarities. You want them to wear nose masks. There are people who have not taught, they've not taught you how to wear nose masks. Kofi, as educated as some journalists are, I have encountered certain journalists who failed woefully when I was asking them, what is the best way to wear this nose mask? How do you dispose of this nose mask? Journalists, I'm talking journalists, they failed woefully.
Journalists are not medical people. They might not have the information.
This is the point I'm making. The point I'm making is that they are supposed to know. If they do not know, I'm not saying they are medical people. If they do not know, how can you expect the woman who sells bole and fish somewhere around you to know? There must be certain machinery that must be put in place to train and to teach these people. Go and see how these things are done abroad. Kofi, if you ever give attention to CNN, you will see how 24 hours, 24, I'm not talking 14 hours, I'm not talking 16 hours. There are people that are teaching and training on how to wear face masks, on how to go about the management of this COVID-19.
Andy.
What we have here is mediocrity that is dancing on the street.
Andy, we need to just clear some comments before we say goodbye to you. Andy, Raymond Michael Njaka says it's not funny. We don't know if we're fighting COVID-19 or fighting River State government. May God help us. Acho, good evening to you. It says, I have said it over and over again that Governor Wike is not fighting what other governors are fighting. He says Governor Wike is fighting a personal fight. By the way, his style is promoting hardship. Well, I mean, if COVID-19 fight is personal for the governor, isn't it a good thing? Acho, thank you for your time. David Igwe says, please tell Andy that talk is cheap. What of Lagos? Is Rivers not a state in Nigeria? Andy approach the governor and stop this. He says you go face the governor one-on-one. Andy's entitled to his opinion.
Can I respond to that very quickly?
Yeah, go on. Feel free.
Pro bono, free of charge, both my time and everything. If Governor Wike reaches out today to civil society organization, I can mention one or two names. If Governor Wike reaches out, I can call Eugene Abel. I can call a few people who will reach him. We will give him a model, a formula that will work and will be obvious to everybody in River State that indeed is COVID-19 that we are fighting. People know, Kofi. I am not going to ask the government to pay a fat bill. The government is not going to pay a shilling.
All right, Andy, thank you. I think you've sufficiently replied. David. Thank you. Temidayo Emmanuel Olajide says, good evening, well done, sincerely. My brother, I'm speechless, he says. Basoneo Rui, my good friend and brother, good evening to you. Thank you very much. Abba Body says, what gains have we made from the previous lockdown in the state? Has it provided test centers and kits? Has it provided PPE for security operatives and nose masks for the masses in the state? What reasonable palliative has the government in River State provided for those who depend on daily income? If you've not been seeing the pictures on Facebook where I have, different palliatives being shared to people in different local government areas, they're all over Facebook. I'm just saying it's charity homes. Anyway, he says, what has the lockdown done? And he goes on to say, what reasonable palliative has the government? Okay, and he says, will the landlords not collect their rent when it's due? It says Wike should go to Cross River State and see for himself what governance is in times of emergency and contingency. He's only engulfed in brick and mortar governance, which is outdated. We must live to win the war, hunger, is more deadly than COVID-19. All right. Well, in Cross River State, some people are actually not singing the praises of Professor or Governor Ben Ayade. That's another day a discussion for of torment. Let him provide enough palliatives. I will be happy to stay at home, but for now he's fighting us, not coronavirus. Wow. Okay. Lawrence Kedechuku says, hope there will be much palliatives. From where? I think they've been sharing, so if we didn't get, then sorry. Nede Hosfall says, God day, we shall overcome. We shall overcome. There is a need to shout. No need to shout, rather. I'll only hurt myself. We are as helpless as newborn babies. My concerns are those vulnerable ones in our society, those who depend on what they do daily for their livelihood. Them, Shebi, he told us to buy Gary and sugar so that we can soak. I repeat, God day. Okay, please keep the comments coming in. If you're watching, thanks for your time. It's Late Night Talk with Kofi Bartels, streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. I'll very much appreciate it if you drop a comment if you're watching right now, and also if you share